This is the movie report at CinemaCon, written by Michael DeKeenan.
The official first full day of CinemaCon 2022 began with the annual State of the Industry program. The recovery of theatrical exhibition from the pandemic remained a prominent topic, and the successful theatrical runs of blockbusters such as Spider-Man: No Way Home offered concrete evidence to back up the hope that attendance can rebound to a level of normal health. Though, as noted by NATO Chief John Fithian, more mid-budget box office successes need to happen before the market can be considered fully recovered. A more evergreen topic than COVID received renewed emphasis: piracy. Both Fithian and Motion Picture Association Chairman Charles Rivkin took on the topic in their respective addresses, but from different angles. Fithian credited increased piracy of digital film releases during the height of COVID as killing simultaneous day and date streaming for good. But with theatrical windows getting shorter, he did not dismiss that it still posed an ongoing threat to the movie theater business. Rivkin went into detail about TMPA's crackdown efforts on movie piracy on the internet, which, while thus far successful, require constant vigilance and application to tame the proverbial beast. Landing the Plum Post address studio slot was Neon, and given how the recovery of the art house sector has been much slower than that of the mainstream multiplex, showcasing an indie distributor was a savvy move by NATO. Neon did not disappoint in that the two titles they showcased were as unapologetically art house off-center as can be. First up, longtime maverick David Cronenberg made, by his own admission, his first ever trip to Las Vegas to premiere the trailer of his latest, Crimes of the Future. Starring Viggo Mortensen, Léa Seydoux, and Kristen Stewart, the science fiction film looks to serve up more of Cronenberg's trademark creepy-crawly body horror kink. More footage was shown from the second title of the presentation, Moonage Daydream, director Brett Morgen's documentary portrait of the late music legend David Bowie. The film includes a lot of rare and never-before-seen performance footage spanning Bowie's entire career, direct from his personal archive. Based on the two extended musical performance excerpts shown, the film looks to be a rather immersive audio-visual experience, as bold and individualist as the artist himself famously was. The end of the Neon presentation then led to the opening session of the trade show, where various companies showed off the latest in movie theater, food, and technology. The usual stalwarts such as Coca-Cola, Mars, and Dolby were all in attendance. But not so usual was the amount of empty space in the exhibition halls, a reflection that the movie theater industry is still very much in recovery mode. Another of the regular trade show presences, the tech company Cinionic, again took over a number of ballrooms by themselves to create Cinionic World. More than just a demonstration space, it doubled as a functional venue for many events, such as a live, on-location taping of the company's The Insiders Show podcast. Joining co-hosts Wim Bynes, CEO of Cinionic, and Jim Chabin, president of Advanced Imaging Society. For the special Tuesday afternoon event were director David Leitch and NATO Executive Vice President Jackie Brenneman. Leitch discussed his career journey, ultimately focusing on his upcoming Bullet Train, out this summer. Brenneman's point of focus was NATO's recently launched the Cinema Foundation, which is dedicated to foster inclusion and diversity in movie-going audiences and the exhibition industry workforce, as well as using the cinema to support charities and other philanthropic efforts. Warner Brothers was next on the Coliseum main stage, back to titling its annual presentation The Big Picture. Famous for trotting out a parade of stars during its showcase, this year featured a smaller number of luminaries, sometimes having extended sit-down talks with host Aisha Tyler. The longest of these was the opening segment on Elvis, with director Baz Luhrmann and star Austin Butler unveiling new footage from their biopic of the music icon. Other filmmakers doing the sit-down bit were those representing 4 projects based on DC Comics. Director James Wan unveiled new footage from his sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Shazam: Fury of the Gods stars Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, and Helen Mirren were on hand to premiere the superhero sequel's first trailer. And the Black Adam trailer was introduced by stars Noah Centineo, Quintessa Swindell, and Dwayne Johnson, the last also representing the animated feature DC League of Super Pets. During his appearance, Johnson was given the CinemaCon Entertainment Icon of the Decade trophy, making briefer appearances on stage were Olivia Wilde, introducing the first look at the trailer for the psychological thriller Don't Worry Darling, which she directs and co-stars alongside Florence Pugh and Harry Styles. Salem's Lot director Gary Dauberman, who with producer James Wan introduced early footage from the first big screen adaptation of Stephen King's Vampire Tale, and the Batman director Matt Reeves, making official the arrival of a sequel. Also featured during the presentation without any talent appearances were the first look at another DC title, The Flash, starring Ezra Miller as the Scarlet Speedster, and featuring the return, after 30-plus years, of Michael Keaton as Batman. A very early look at Wonka, an original musical starring Timothée Chalamet as the title candy maker, and a first-look image of Margot Robbie as the live-action version of the iconic doll Barbie. Closing out the day was Universal, who offered a little appetizer for its official presentation on Wednesday by screening the entirety of its summer horror offering, The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke. Producer Jason Blum took to the stage to introduce the film, in the process also dropping a brief plug for another horror film he produced for the studio, a new version of Stephen King's Firestarter, due out in May. For film reviews and more, please visit TheMovieReport.com. Also follow me at 2Trey23 on Instagram and at 2Trey23 on Twitter.